Good evening, sir. Okay, sir. So, good evening, everyone.
Very good evening, madam.
So, shall we start the session, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Is my screen visible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, one second. What we have discussed yesterday, can anyone quickly give the response?
About research report, ma'am. Report. Essentials of a report, types of reports, parts of report, business
Nice,
report, academic
very good,
report.
very good. Thank you. So, what is the difference between business report and academic report?
Business report is a formal document used to provide information,
Information regarding?
analysis, recommendations for business decisions.
Company
Okay,
management
very
decisions, sales report, marketing.
right. A report on business problems, recommendations to the business or company to take the decisions. Whereas academic report,
Prepared for educational or research purpose.
nice, very good. Thank you. So, how many parts we have discussed in the report? How many parts are there actually? And out of which, how many we have already discussed?
10
Let us
parts.
recollect. Very good. Let us recollect all those parts very quickly.
Title, table of contents, executive summary, introduction, methodology, analysis, findings, conclusion, recommendation, reference.
Very good. So, can anybody say what is executive summary?
An
It's a brief
abstract.
information.
It is also known as abstract. It is a concise summary of report.
Good. So, what is table of contents?
It includes parts of reports with corresponding page numbers.
Very good. Very good. So, we have discussed, I think, up to findings. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. We'll go to the next one. Conclusions. So, what is the difference between, what do you mean by findings? How to close this? Right. So, conclusions. What are the findings? Yes. Is screen visible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. It is visible.
Right. So, what are the findings?
Finding section of a report presents facts, observations, and results. obtained from the survey, study, investigation.
Okay, very good. Then comes to the next part, eighth one, conclusions. There is a little bit of difference between findings and conclusions. Findings gives the actual facts, the information, the realistic information, whatever we have collected. So what is there actually, that is given under findings. But when it comes to the conclusions, conclusions summarizes the whole findings, right? So in findings, we'll take as it is. Let us say 80% of the students are using, uh, what do you say, Facebook or WhatsApp or online learning material, right? That is the finding that we have collected from the data. Conclusion means what here? You have to give the overall view or report of that findings or of that particular total data that we have collected. So in conclusions, it gives a little bit of analytical part that a researcher has to present. Out of the total collected data and findings, what is your opinion or what is the summarized statements or what is the overview of that? That is going to be presented under the conclusions. It is the main part. Depending on this conclusions only, you can give the suggestions or recommendations. See, when marks are asked, uh, if somebody asks you about the marks, how do you say the semester marks? You will say 70%, 80% are grade O, grade A, grade B, right? So you won't say Telugu you got 75, English you got 90, accounting you got 99, right? So overall, the overview of that particular result you will say, that is called conclusion. So in conclusions, what is their summary of main findings? For that, I have given example also. The study found that most employees were satisfied with flexible working hours. In findings, what we have discussed, see 80% of employees reported satisfaction with new work from home policy. That is the finding we have observed. Based on this finding, what we are saying, most of the employees are satisfied because it is up to 80%. So summary, and sometimes we have to give the interpretation of the findings that we have collected and calculated. So it indicates flexible work arrangement or flexible working hours for the employees. So 80% have given positive result. From that, we can say that they are satisfied this work policy, work from home policy. And we have to think that this is the flexible one and satisfied one for the employees. Sometimes conclusions will include the objectives, the answer for the objectives also. You are doing the research is conducted based on specific objective, whether the work from home is better for the employees or not. That is the objective. Now you can give the solution or answer to that particular question or objective, right? And sometimes overall assessment, the overall result of the students, and basically limitations we won't be mentioning, but if at all your conclusions requires a particular limitation to constrain your conclusion, the limitations are to be added. So conclusions give the overview or the summary or the closing statement of the analytical part that we have collected. Now, what are the differences between findings and conclusions? Findings presents facts, data, and observations, whereas conclusions presents the total overall summary of that particular data. So indirectly, we can say findings answers what was discovered, and conclusion answers what do the findings mean, right? So that is conclusions. And it includes tables, charts, statistics. Conclusions specifically, they are going to be presented in a statement format, right? And in findings, the researcher's opinion or the researcher's interpretations are not included most of the times. But in conclusions, a logical relation will be given among the concepts or among the variables, and the researcher opinion or researcher logical judgment will be included under conclusions. Next comes to the recommendations, or you can also call it as suggestions, the next part. Now, what do you mean by suggestions? Recommendations or suggestions are the based on the findings you are giving conclusions. So based on the conclusions, if at all it is required, if it is asked, or if you want to give, then only you can add the recommendations. If your research is not enough to give recommendations or suggestions, you can skip this part, right? At basic level, at graduation level, your research is a basic research, and in this research you may not suggest because there will be more of limitations for your project, right? The time will be limited, the scope will be limited, the data that you have collected is going to be limited, the tools that you are going to be using in the research for analysis may be the basic analytical techniques. So at graduation dissertation, you may not give the recommendations or suggestions, but most of the times where the research goes into the depth of the study, there you can add the recommendations. So recommendations means after studying the topic or research, if you feel the positive points which will improve that particular study, you can add it as a recommendation or suggestion. So what are the practical suggestions you want to give? For the identified problems, if you want to suggest any particular idea or solution, or the way of different angle that helps you to solve the problem, right? Or what are the other angles, what are the flexibility that is there to solve the problem, and what are the benefits or good things that are going to be achieved. All these you can add in the recommendations, right? So what are the major differences? You might be getting confusion, madam. All these you have to write at the final part of the research. So what is the difference between finding, conclusion, and recommendation? Findings, as it is, whatever the data we have collected, that we are presenting, the true picture of the data that we are presenting, that will come under finding. And in conclusion also, we are giving the true picture, but we are presenting including our opinion. Mana opinion kalpukoni we are going to say. We are going to interpret. We are going to give the summary of our total research. Recommendations means the suggestions that you want to add to your research. So overall, findings gives the answer what was discovered in the data that we have collected for the research. Conclusion answers what do the findings mean. మనం కలెక్ట్ చేసి ఫైండింగ్స్ రాసాం కదా, గ్రాఫ్స్, చార్ట్స్, టేబుల్స్, పై డయాగ్రామ్స్, ఆర్ స్టాటిస్టికల్ టెక్నిక్స్, ఆర్ ఫైనాన్షియల్ టెక్నిక్స్. వాట్ డస్ ఇట్ మీన్? మనం అన్ని టేబుల్ ఫార్మాట్ లో, క్యాలిక్యులేటెడ్ ఫార్మాట్ లో వేస్తున్నాం కదా. వాట్ ఈస్ ద మీనింగ్ ఆఫ్ ఇట్? ఓవరాల్ గా అవి ఏం చెప్తున్నాయి? వెదర్ ఇట్ ఈస్ మీటింగ్ టు ద ఆబ్జెక్టివ్, పాజిటివ్ సైడ్ ఆఫ్ ఆబ్జెక్టివ్ ఆర్ నెగటివ్ సైడ్ ఆఫ్ ఆబ్జెక్టివ్. And recommendation answers what we have to do in the next level, whether we have to accept whatever the objective that we have derived or decided, or shall we add something that helps you to achieve more and more in the objective, right? So these are the main differences between findings, conclusions, and recommendations. Next, come to the last part, references, or we can also call it as bibliography. Now, what is the bibliography or references? This is just a list of secondary sources that are being used under your research. మీరు రీసెర్చ్ చేసేటప్పుడు వాట్ ఎవర్ ద ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ దట్ యు ఆర్ కలెక్టింగ్ from the website or from the books or from the journals or from the company journals or from anywhere, from where you are collecting this information, that all information you have to give a reference, right? And the technical term that we are using is bibliography. Bibliography reports the list of all books, journals, websites, articles, reports, and all other sources. Sometimes we have to take the government reports, right? Our company reports. All these we have to give a reference of it, that we call. So I have given the example books. If you are using the books, which book you are used? For example, marketing management you have used, written by Philip Kotler, and the edition is 16th edition, which was published by Pearson, and it is published in 2022. For this bibliography also will follow a particular style that we are going to discuss in the next slide. So if it is books, or journals, or websites, all these we have to give a reference of it, right? Next, if it is a government organization, or if it is a newspaper or magazine or other conference or seminar papers or dissertations or PhDs or online books or company reports or recognized or reputed websites with having passwords, sometimes we have to go, right? All these references we have to give under this bibliography. So what is bibliography? It gives a reference of the secondary sources that are being used under research. Next, and writing in mentioning the bibliography, there are specifically two styles are going to be there. One, we call it as MLA method. Second one, APA method. What is MLA method? Modern Language Association, right? Second one is American Psychological Association. And what is the difference between these two? Madam, bibliography kuda inta pedda history unda ante yes. Like projects, how do you follow a technical way of presentation? The same way we have to present the bibliography also. You cannot mention as it is or in normal or routine way. There are different types or styles that are being practiced by the researchers. You have to practice only this in these styles only. There are different, you can do the project report on these two styles also. మీరు టెక్స్ట్ బుక్స్ కానీ డిజర్టేషన్స్ కానీ జర్నల్స్ కానీ ఏవైనా తీసుకొని which method is being followed under different researchers, that will become a project also. మీకు అది separate ఒక project అవుతుంది because different styles ఉన్నాయి, right? Modern Language Association. What is Modern Language Association and American Psychological Association? Where it is being used to the maximum extent. MLA method is used in humanities and liberal arts, whereas in social sciences, APA method is practiced more, right? And the method of this style is, this is author and work. And first author పేరు రాస్తారు, next the work that is given by the author. Whereas in APA method, author and date will be given, date will be mentioned. And a list of the bibliography, work cited, ఏవే వర్క్స్ నుంచి తీసుకుంటున్నాము అనేది, that citation will be given. And here the reference will be given. In APA style, the reference will be given. Order of entries. MLA style lo alphabetical order of author. Let us say Philip Kotler is there, and one more, let us say Keynes is there. Which letter comes first? K or P? K comes first. So Keynes will be mentioned first, and Philip Kotler will be mentioned in the second order. So in MLA style, The authors are going to be mentioned in alphabetical order, and their work is also going to be mentioned in the alphabetical order. Whereas in APA method, authors are mentioned in alphabetical order, but their work is going to be mentioned on chronological order. Chronological means the year of study in 2012 and 2022. So first comes 12, then comes 22,
Like in
right?
order, ma'am, sequence.
Yeah, yeah, in the order of occurrence or in the order of time, they are going to mention. Dates, names, sometimes we'll be having a lengthy name with first name, last name, and middle name. So that order is also mentioned. Dates are not going to be used under text, but in APA method, dates will be mentioned in the text. Text means the bibliographies will be given as reference in the main part of the research. Research lo manam vaadinappudu, let us say the statistical report, the census says that the Indian population in the 2011 is 14 million. From where you got this information? ఎక్కడి నుండి వచ్చింది ఇది? సెన్సస్ రిపోర్ట్ నుంచి వచ్చింది. సో wherever you are using this, you have to mention in that particular paragraph. ఆ citation ఇస్తూ ఉంటాం అన్నట్టు. So that citation will be given. Next, article titles. So how do you mention the article title? Inverted commas అంటుంటారు కదా. So in quotations, we'll mention under MLA method. The quotations won't be there in APA method. The letters are also going to be capital letters. First letters are going to be capital letters. Most of the times in two methods, we'll use the capital letters for every word. In text parenthesis అంటే బ్రాకెట్ పెడుతుంటాం కదా. ఈ బ్రాకెట్ అనేది నేమ్, స్పేస్ అండ్ పేజ్ నెంబర్ ఫర్ MLA మెథడ్. నేమ్, కామా, ఇయర్, కామా, పేజ్ నెంబర్ అండర్ APA. చూసారా? స్పేస్ అండ్ కామా will differentiate the method of style of writing the bibliography. మనం జనరల్ గా రాసేస్తుంటాం ఫిలిప్ కోట్లర్ మార్కెటింగ్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ 2022. But there is a specific sequence or style that is to be followed. So ఆ స్టైల్ ఎలా ఉండాలి అనేది కూడా all these we have to mention. And the use of and, ఎక్కడ and వాడాలి, ఎక్కడ you have to use the symbol, at all అనేది ఎక్కడ వాడాలి. రిపోర్టింగ్ టెన్స్, ప్రెసెంట్ టెన్స్ లోనా, పాస్ట్ టెన్స్ లోనా, ఫ్యూచర్ టెన్స్ లోనా, all this it differs from one style to another style. I'll give one example also. See, in general, the statement is social media has become an important tool for students to communicate, collaborate, and access educational resources. Educational resources ki ఇది జనరల్ స్టేట్మెంట్, మనం తీసుకోవాల్సిన స్టేట్మెంట్. ఓకే, బట్ ఇన్ MLA మెథడ్ హౌ డు యూ రైట్ ఇట్? MLA స్టైల్లో ఎలా రాస్తారు చూడండి. సో
Alphabetic order.
ఫస్ట్, yes, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Thank you. So in MLA style, see the author name, right? Comma, space, and the title of the work is kept under inverted commas, right? And the name of the journal, right? And the volume and the number, that is the volume number, and the year of publications, and the page number C34 to 56. Whereas in APA style, is my screen visible? Whole screen is visible?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. In APA style, see the author name. Here we have taken this whole name of the author, Smith, comma John, right? But here we have taken Smith and the initial, not the whole name. And in MLA style, the year, where we have mentioned the year C after the volume. But in APA style, the year is mentioned immediately after the author name. And the title is also not kept in the inverted commas, right? And the edition and the page numbers, that is at the end of this. So these are the two different types of bibliography. I guess you will get one question from this: MLA style and APA style. Okay. And next part is appendices. What do you mean by appendices? See, data interpretation, findings, that is, conclusions, and suggestions are the main body or heart of the research. And when you come to the appendix part, or references part, or bibliography, all these are the attachments for your works. మీరు చేసిన వర్క్స్ కి మీరు యూజ్ చేసిన పార్ట్స్ ఏవైతే ఉన్నాయో దట్ యు ఆర్ అటాచింగ్ ఎట్ ద ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ ద రీసెర్చ్, రైట్? యువర్ కన్క్లూజన్, your findings, your recommendations ends there, your research part. మీ రీసెర్చ్ పార్ట్ అక్కడికి అయిపోతుంది. ఆ రీసెర్చ్ లో యూజ్ చేసిన రైట్ ఏవైతే ఉన్నాయో అవన్నీ యు ఆర్ యూజింగ్ ఎట్ ద ఎండ్. అండ్ దోస్ పార్ట్స్ బిబ్లియోగ్రఫీ, రైట్? అండ్ దిస్ appendix. Appendices means appendix is the singular word and appendices is the plural word. And this is the final section of your research work. And what is to be included under appendix or appendices? The data, whatever you have used or collected, may not be possible to include under the main context of your research. మీరు అనాలిసిస్ చేసేటప్పుడు క్వశ్చనీర్ మొత్తం తీసుకెళ్ళి మీ అనలిటికల్ పార్ట్లో పెట్టడానికి పాసిబుల్ కాదు. మీ ఫైనాన్షియల్ స్టేట్మెంట్స్ అనేవి మీ అనాలిసిస్లో మొత్తం చూపించడానికి పాసిబుల్ కాదు. The questions you have posed under interview level or schedule level that may not be possible to include under main context. So what you have to do, only the final report that you have collected. See, questionnaire you have prepared, 50 questions you have posed, and you have collected the responses from a sample of 100 people. So 100 respondents, it is not possible to show under the analysis part. But these 100 responses you can add under this appendix part if you require. Otherwise, a sample of questionnaire you can add. The raw data that you have collected, the tables and charts that you have collected from various web sources, or statements, or from various areas that you have to add. సో అపెండిక్స్లో మనం ఏమేమి యాడ్ చేస్తాము అంటే, మనం డేటా ఏవైతే ఎక్కడెక్కడి నుండి కలెక్ట్ చేసామో ఆ ఫైనల్ డాక్యుమెంట్స్ కానీ, టేబుల్స్ కానీ, చార్ట్స్ కానీ, రైట్, లేదంటే క్యాలిక్యులేషన్స్ కానీ, మ్యాప్స్ కానీ, any other newspapers kani, magazine kani, all these we have to add at the end of this. And this additional supporting information, we call it as appendix, right? So this is the whole different parts of report we have already discussed. Now, this whole format, if you take the technical structure of the format, if you take that, we can divide into 3 parts: preliminary section, main section, and end section. What is the preliminary section? Title, the cover page. Most of the times, acknowledgement, right? Acknowledgement will be there in the research reports, right? Table of contents, executive summary or abstract, all these will be coming under preliminary section. Coming from the introduction part to the conclusions or before conclusions, all the sections will be added under the main sections. Introduction, where we are going to give the background, objectives, nature, scope, limitations, chapterizations, research methodology, right? Fine, all these are included under introduction. Next, the analysis part, the interpretations part, the findings part, right? The tables, the charts, all these are under main sections. Under end section, that is how you are going to end your research work, by giving conclusions and by adding some suggestions, right? To that, you are going to add your bibliography and appendices. So these are the main 3 sections, are technical format of a report, right? Next, what are the essentials of a good report? What do you require to write a good report? Report is a report, right? But if you want to say it is a very good report, or if it is giving a very good solution for the problem, or answers for the objectives, or it is meeting its objectives, means what are the essential characteristics that are to be there? You might have seen all these characters in the characteristics of report also. మనం ఫస్ట్ నిన్న ఫస్ట్ లోనే చదివాం. What are the main features of report? So all these characteristics, if a report satisfies, then you call it as a good report. What it requires? Clarity. Clarity should be there in the good report. See, what is the impact of social media on students? Students పైన social media impact ఏంటి? You have collected the information, you have done the research, you have interpreted it, but in the conclusions, social media is showing impact on the students. Is there any clarity in that? Social media is showing impact on the students' education. What is your conclusion? You are not mentioning, you are not giving clear conclusions there, whether it is showing positive impact or negative impact. That clarity should be there. Accuracy. Reports, wherever it is required, you have to mention very much accurately. When you go to the doctor, uh, he'll write the tests, right? The different types of medical tests they'll write, and all these medical tests are going to give their reports with accurate results. Blood test, if it is given, what is the hemoglobin percentage? They won't write it as approximately WBC, RBC, right? If you have asked what are the sales, you won't say approximately 1 lakh, approximately 5 lakhs. No, it is not accurate. Wherever it is required, you have to mention in accurate. Accurate means exact, correct, right? Objectivity. Without objectivity, without meeting the objectivity, report is not called as a report. You are doing a project on the sales, increase of the sales of a particular organization, or let us say the expenditure, advertisement expenditure, and the profit, whether there is any relationship between advertisement expenditure incurred and the profit that is gained, right? So your objective is to relate the expenditure and the profit. If you are not relating, and if you are not, suppose if you are just doing the research on only advertisement expenditure, you are not linking with the profit, that is not that is not called as a good report. You have to relate it, you have to meet, you have to collect the data according to your objectivity of the research. Conciseness. Whenever you are presenting the report, I said you should present in a confined manner, in a short manner. If you present a lengthy report, it may not attract, it may not give the exact conclusions. And your project should be having completeness. You have collected the data, right? But you have not given, you have not mentioned all the data that is you have collected. And some out of 20 questions, suppose if respondents are not given responses for 5 to 6 questions, if you are skipping that part, that may not give the complete solution for the problem, or you may not meet your objective completely. So your project report should have a complete data collection, complete findings, and complete conclusion. Relevant data must be included under the project reports, research reports. If you are doing project on sales, you should not give the information about the manufacturing. Manufacturing, we are, though it is related, but we are concentrating more on the sales. So you have to project only on sales, not on the manufacturing. It should be simple. I have given that. You should skip the jargons, technical jargons, which has two meanings, double meanings, or shortcuts. The simple language we have to use. Consistency. Consistency means from starting to ending, whatever the objective you have established, related to your object only, you have to collect the information, you have to do the interpretation, you have to select the techniques that meets the objectivity, right? According to that only you have to give the conclusions. So that is called consistency. And a proper documentation means, as we have discussed all these parts one by one, and this should be in a sequential order. So these are the essentials of a good report. Next, what are the benefits of a good report? It communicates effectively to the respondents, readers, are the opposite parties, are the parties, are institutions, whoever are in need, or whoever identifies the problem and seeks solution, right? So it helps in a good decision making. It is called as a professional presentation. A good report always gives a reliable and accurate information which helps the reader or researcher to solve the problem, which in turn helps the organization to improve its efficiency. Understood, all of you? Right. And what is the overall summary of the reports we have discussed? Reports, what do you mean by report? What are the characteristics, principles, right? What are the different types of reports we have discussed? What are the parts of reports we have discussed, right? And what are the different styles of bibliography? And what are the essential characteristics of good report writing we have discussed? So these reports are helpful for different areas, different fields, different businesses, different sciences. They'll communicate the information wherever there a problem of statement is identified. So in general, in your whatever the syllabus that you have given in CPGET, I think I have covered all the topics. Uh, Sir, Satish sir has called me and sir has asked me to include one part which was not covered by sir, that is testing of hypothesis. I think sir has already covered the hypothesis part. Can anybody say what do you mean by hypothesis?
It is a tentative assumption for a solution of problem.
Very good, very nice. A tentative assumption for a problem or a parametric population or sample, we call it as a hypothesis. And you might have studied the two hypotheses. So before going to that, um, when you are establishing objectives, you can establish the objective directly in a statement wise. Otherwise, you can write a hypothesis. And to this hypothesis, the data is related to this hypothesis, you are going to collect the data and you are going to do the research. So when a hypothesis failed, how to test the hypothesis? Testing of hypothesis is very much important, and it is a statistical method also, like average, like correlation, like index number, like probability. Hypothesis is also one of the technique that you have to use under analysis and interpretation part. But there is a procedure to test this hypothesis. Simply హైపోథసిస్ అని అంటే మనం డేటా కలెక్ట్ చేసేస్తే హైపోథసిస్ రిజల్ట్ రాదు అక్కడ మనకి. So whenever hypothesis is included in your project report, how to test it? That is called testing of hypothesis. See, correlation is there means how do you calculate? We'll collect the data, X variable, two variables will be there, X and Y. X you will place, Y you will place, you'll substitute the values in the formula, you'll get some answer. According to that answer, you will say whether there is correlation or not between the two variables or among number of variables. So that answer itself will give the R value itself will give the conclusion or finding part for you. But when it comes to the hypothesis, just you are making an assumption. So how to test this hypothesis? So whenever you are framing the hypothesis, either you can frame two or you can frame one. That is null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. What do you mean by null hypothesis?
There is a no
Yes,
relationship between two variables.
please repeat.
There is a no relationship between two variables.
Very good. Null hypothesis states that there is no relationship or no differences or no impact between the two variables. What is alternative hypothesis? Opposite to
There
null
is a
hypothesis.
relationship between uh,
Right. There is a relationship, there is a impact, right, between
there
the
is a
two
effect.
variables. That is alternative hypothesis. Null hypothesis is denoted with H naught. Alternative hypothesis is denoted with H1 or HA. ఏదైనా యూజ్ చేయొచ్చు. Okay. This also you can expect in the examinations. Null hypothesis H naught, alternative hypothesis H1 or HA. Right. So here the steps are there in the testing of hypothesis. So what are the steps? 6 to 7 steps we have to follow. What is the first step? You have to first write your statement or write your hypothesis. What is your objective? మీ ఆబ్జెక్టివ్ ఏంటి అనే దాన్ని మీరు ఒక హైపోథెసిస్ లో రాయండి. ఐ సెడ్ యూ కెన్ రైట్ ఇట్ యాజ్ నల్ హైపోథెసిస్ ఆర్ ఇన్ బోత్ ద హైపోథెసిస్, నల్ అండ్ హైపోథెసిస్ రెండిట్లో కూడా రాయొచ్చు. నల్ హైపోథెసిస్ అంటే ఏంటి? నో రిలేషన్. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఏదైనా తీసుకోవచ్చు. There is no relationship between online learning and the marks scored by the student. Right? What I am saying, there is no relationship between online learning and marks scored by the students. Okay? So this is null hypothesis. Alternative hypothesis మీరు చెప్పండి ఇప్పుడు.
There is a relationship between online classes.
And the marks scored by the students. Very good. So that is null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. This is first step. Second step is choose significance level, that we call it as alpha antam manam. Significance level అనేది ఆల్ఫాతో డినోట్ చేస్తాం. Most of the times this significance level is fixed as 1% or 5%, very rarely 10%. Right? 1% అంటే 0.01, 5% అంటే 0.05, 10% అంటే 0.10. Now what is this significance level? Significance level అంటే ఏంటి అంటే వాట్ ఎవర్ ద డేటా వీ హ్యావ్ కలెక్టెడ్. ఈ నల్ హైపోథసిస్ మనం ఏదైతే ఫ్రేమ్ చేసామో దట్ ఈస్ ఆన్లైన్ క్లాసెస్ అండ్ మార్క్స్ దట్ ఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు బి సెక్యూర్డ్ బై ద స్టూడెంట్స్. రైట్? ఇవి ఏవైతే వాల్యూస్ మనం కలెక్ట్ చేస్తున్నామో ద సిగ్నిఫికెన్స్ లెవెల్ అంటే టోటల్ డేటా మే నాట్ సపోర్ట్ యువర్ ఆబ్జెక్టివ్ ఆర్ మే నాట్ సపోర్ట్ యువర్ హైపోథసిస్. అంటే మీరు కలెక్ట్ చేసిన డేటా అంతా అందరూ కూడా ఆన్లైన్ క్లాసెస్ విని మార్క్స్ ఎక్కువ వస్తేనే హైపోథసిస్ ని యాక్సెప్ట్ చేయాలా? రిలేషన్ ఉందని చెప్పాలా? నో. సో దేర్ ఈస్ అ సిగ్నిఫికెన్స్ లెవెల్. సిగ్నిఫికెన్స్ లెవెల్ అంటే ఒక 100 రెస్పాండెంట్స్ ని మీరు కలెక్ట్ చేస్తే కనుక ఇఫ్ యువర్ సిగ్నిఫికెన్స్ లెవెల్ ఈస్ 5 అంటే 5% అంటే యూ కెన్ యాక్సెప్ట్ యువర్ data even if it is wrong for 5% also. The confident level of the reliable data goes to 95%. Right? If the critical value falls in between this 95%, అంటే మీరు 100 మెంబర్స్ దగ్గర నుంచి డేటా కలెక్ట్ చేసినప్పుడు ఒక 5 మెంబర్స్ నెగటివ్ ఇచ్చినా కూడా రిమైనింగ్ డేటా అనేది 95% అనేది ఇఫ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ సపోర్టింగ్ యువర్ హైపోథసిస్ దెన్ యూ కెన్ యాక్సెప్ట్. 1% అంటే 100 లో 1% అంటే మీన్స్ వాట్ హియర్ ద ఛాన్సెస్ ఆఫ్ రిజెక్షన్ పర్సెంటేజ్ దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ సిగ్నిఫికెన్స్ లెవెల్. Got it, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. The percentage that we want to reject is called choosing of significance level. It represents the probability of rejecting a true null hypothesis. Null hypothesis ని ఎప్పుడు రిజెక్ట్ చేయొచ్చు? 5% కంటే ఎక్కువ ఉంటే you have to reject. Percentage కంటే తక్కువ ఉంటే you can accept. If 5% is fixed. 1% అని ఫిక్స్ చేస్తే కనుక 1% కంటే ఎక్కువ రిజెక్షన్ ఉందనుకోండి, అంటే 1% కంటే ఎక్కువ మంది మీకు నెగటివ్ ఇచ్చారనుకోండి, దెన్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు రిజెక్ట్ నల్ హైపోథసిస్. 10% సిగ్నిఫికెన్స్ లెవెల్ అంటే ఆల్ఫా వాల్యూ 10% అన్నారనుకోండి, దెన్ 10 మెంబర్స్ కంటే అంటే ఎవ్రీ 100 లో 10 మెంబర్స్ కంటే ఎక్కువ అపోజ్ చేశారనుకోండి, దెన్ యూ కెన్ రిజెక్ట్ ద నల్ హైపోథసిస్. ఆర్ మీకు ఇంకా చిన్నగా చెప్పాలి అంటే, మీరు ఎఫ్ టెస్ట్, టీ టెస్ట్, జెడ్ టెస్ట్ చేసినప్పుడు టేబుల్ వాల్యూస్ చూస్తాం మనం. అండ్ దోస్ టేబుల్ వాల్యూస్ 1%, 5%, 10% దగ్గర చూపిస్తాం. దట్ ఈస్ ద పర్సంటేజ్ ఆఫ్ రిజెక్షన్ దట్ వీ హ్యావ్ టు యాక్సెప్ట్, రైట్? అది లెవెల్ ఆఫ్ రిజెక్షన్ ఫర్ ఏ ట్రూ హైపోథసిస్. దట్ ఈస్ సెకండ్ వన్. థర్డ్ వన్, select the appropriate test statistics. ఓకే, నల్ హైపోథెసిస్ ఫ్రేమ్ చేసాం మనము. టెస్ట్ ఏంటి సిగ్నిఫికెన్స్ లెవెల్ మనం 1%, 5%, 10% ఏదో ఒకటి మనం ఫిక్స్ చేసుకున్నాం. సో నెక్స్ట్ కమ్స్ టు ద డేటా కలెక్షన్. యాక్చువల్గా డేటా కలెక్షన్, ఆ కలెక్టెడ్ డేటాలో హౌ డు యూ సే whether the data is good or not, whether it is support your hypothesis or not. మనం డేటా కలెక్షన్ చేస్తే సరిపోతుందా? ఆన్లైన్ క్లాసెస్ లో ఎంతమంది అటెండ్ అయ్యారు, స్కోర్ ఎంతమందికి వచ్చింది, కలెక్టెడ్, వీ హ్యావ్ కలెక్టెడ్ ద డేటా, బట్ దిస్ కలెక్షన్ ఆఫ్ డేటా సింప్లీ వోంట్ గివ్ ద రిజల్ట్. సో టు support your objectivity, to support the hypothesis, you have to use the test. Statistical tests are going to be used. ఏ టెస్ట్ అయినా యూజ్ చేయొచ్చు. దట్ డిపెండ్స్ ఆన్ ద రిక్వైర్మెంట్ ఆఫ్ యువర్ ఆబ్జెక్టివిటీ, రిక్వైర్మెంట్ ఆఫ్ యువర్ హైపోథసిస్. మీరు హైపోథసిస్ కి సూటబుల్ ఏ టెస్ట్ అయినా తీసుకోవచ్చు. ఐ హ్యావ్ గివెన్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్: జెడ్ టెస్ట్, టీ టెస్ట్, కై స్క్వేర్, ఎఫ్ టెస్ట్, అనోవా, ఆర్ ఈవెన్ యూ కెన్ టేక్ పేర్డ్ టీ టెస్ట్ అని ఉంటాయి, 1 వే అని ఉంటుంది, 2 వే అని ఉంటుంది, ఆర్ సింపుల్ టెస్ట్ ఆల్సో యూ కెన్ టేక్, right? So third step is to select the test statistic. Now the fourth step, determine the critical region or p value. p value అంటే ఇంతకు ముందు మనం ఆల్ఫా వాల్యూ చూసాం, ఇక్కడ ఉంది కదా, 5%, 1%, 10%. సపోజ్ మీరు టీ టెస్ట్ యూజ్ చేశారనుకోండి, టీ టెస్ట్ లో 5%, టీ టెస్ట్ లో 5% కి you will get some value in table. Tables will be there for all these tests, right? That is, according to the level of significance, the values will be mentioned in the tables. So determine the critical value or p value means, if you have selected the t test and the significance level is 5%, so what is the 5% t test value? That alpha value, that is called p value. అర్థమవుతుందా అందరికి? Yes, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that alpha value we have to calculate. Next, compute the test statistics. Table value ni p value అంటున్నాము. మనము టెస్ట్ స్టాటిస్టిక్ అంటే మీరు టీ టెస్ట్ యూజ్ చేస్తున్నారు కదా, you are using t test, z test, chi square test, f test. There will be different formulae for all these tests. So your collected information you are substituting in the particular test formulae. T-test formula you are substituting, you are calculating, you will get some answer, right? F-test, T-test, a formula lo substitute చేసినప్పుడు you will get some answer. So that is calculation or computation of test statistic. That is fifth step. Sixth step is make the decision. Now you have two values. First ఏం చేసాం? We have framed the hypothesis. We have fixed the test statistics, right? We have collected the information and we have used the test statistic. right? ఒక test ని వాడుతున్నాం. And for that, we are calculating the alpha or p value. That is, from the table, we are going to get that value. Next one is, we are going to use the formula and we are going to do the calculations, all computations. You'll get some answer, right? Now, the table value and the calculated value both should be compared, right? అర్థమవుతుందా? Both should be compared. P value and alpha value. One is calculated value and one is the table value, right? If the calculated value is greater than the table value, right? If, once again I am repeating, if the calculated value is greater than the table value, then it falls under a critical area. Then you have to reject the null hypothesis, right? If the calculated value is greater than table value, ఎందుకంటే table value we are fixing, let us say 5% అన్నా, 5% దగ్గర the value is, let us say 3.2, right? Table value is 3.2. It won't be 3, 0.32 అలా ఉంటుంది, right? 0.32. But after calculation, you got it as 0.46. 0.46. So your calculated value is greater than the table value. అంటే ఏంటి? We have fixed a significance level or certain level up to which extent you can accept the null hypothesis. But it is exceeding that level. So you have to reject it. Understood all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
If P value is greater than alpha
Table.
value. So if your calculated value is greater than table value, then reject null hypothesis. Right? Here I have given in reverse. Or I'll give you in reverse. Sorry. If your table value is less than your calculated value, then reject the null hypothesis. Okay? In reverse, if p value is greater than alpha, p means ikkada table value, right? Table value ఎక్కువ ఉంటే ఏం చేయాలి?
Reject the null hypothesis.
Right, very good. If table value is less than the calculated value,
Reject the null hypothesis.
no, you are confusing. Calculated value and table value, both are going to be there, right? Calculated value and table value.
Table value.
What is, let us say alpha is the p value and alpha, both are there. Which one is the table value and which one? Now, what I said you, calculated
P value.
value greater
P
than the
means
table
table value.
value. Calculated value is greater than table value, then reject null hypothesis. Means opposite enti? If calculated value is less than table value, then accept null hypothesis, or you can also say it as fail to reject null hypothesis. If you are not mentioning the alternative hypothesis and the null hypothesis alternate rendu frame cheste, we can say rejecting null hypothesis and accepting alternative hypothesis. If you are not mentioning the alternative hypothesis, then you have to write rejecting null hypothesis, right? Or if you are accepting it, then you can write failed to reject null hypothesis, or you can write it as accepting alternative hypothesis, right?
Okay, ma'am.
So based on this, you have to give the conclusions or interpretations, right? If your critical area or if the calculated value is coming less than table value, what should be your hypothesis? You have to interpret as as null hypothesis is accepted, there is significance impact, or there is an impact of online classes on the marks scored by the students. Right? In this way, you have to draw the conclusions. And while drawing these conclusions, or after drawing the conclusions, there you can see two types of errors. Is this topic covered under your syllabus?
No, ma'am.
So I'll just give 1 minute on this. Types of error will be there. So if you have calculated the value, you have table value. If it is true, you have to accept. If it is wrong, you have to reject. Am I right? Two
Yes.
conditions are there. True, accept. Wrong, reject. But there will be other way, that is two other implications are there, right? That is, even if it is true, sometimes you are going to reject, right? Even if it is true, even if the calculations are correct, everything is correct, but if the values are saying correct also, the null hypothesis is going to be rejected. See, rejecting a true null hypothesis is called as type 1 error. If hypothesis is true, you have to accept it. Avuna kada? But even if it is hypothesis is showing accurately correct, you are rejecting it. That is called type 1 error. We are denoting it with alpha. If it is wrong, we have to reject it. But even if it is wrong, you are accepting it. The null hypothesis. So you are committing mistakes here. These two are errors. Accept the true one, reject the wrong one. Right? But you are rejecting true one, accepting wrong one. So these two are errors. So rejecting true one is called type 1 error. Accepting wrong one is called type 2 errors. Right? These two are the type 1 and type 2 errors. Type 1 is denoted with alpha and type 2 is denoted with beta. Okay? Is it clear for everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Clear, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So this is the end of my session. Any doubt? Or you can ask me questions related to our topic.
Ma'am, is there any multiple choices we can practice now? No.
Yes, yes, I'll give you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
I have framed 50 questions. So shall I post in your WhatsApp group or shall we discuss now?
We'll
We
discuss, ma'am.
will
Later
discuss,
post
ma'am.
now,
We
ma'am.
will discuss, ma'am.
First, we'll discuss, ma'am. Later, you post it, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you see my screen now? Oh, 1 second. Is my screen visible?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Someone is sharing. One participant can share at a time.
पूछ नहीं रहे मैम ओके करो डबल क्लास क्लास में तो ठीक है थोड़ी देर करो कल ड्रॉप
Why it is not shared? Sir, are you there? It is not showing screen sharing. Anyone is there from the organizers?
No, ma'am.
Screen is not being shared. What is happening? I don't know. One second. Is someone sharing the screen?
మేడం మీ హోస్ట్ వేరే వాళ్ళకి వెళ్ళిపోయింది మేడం, అందుకే మీకు అవ్వట్లేదు.
Evarama, can you please share the host? Who is the host now?
మీరే మేడం పోస్ట్.
మీదే ఉంది మేడం మోస్ట్.
Why it is not coming? నాకు స్క్రీన్ షేర్ రావట్లేదమ్మా. వన్ పార్టిసిపెంట్ కెన్ షేర్ ఎట్ ఏ టైమ్ అని వస్తుంది. వెయిట్ సార్ కాల్ చేస్తా.
మేడం ఒకసారి మీ వీడియో ఆఫ్ చేసి ట్రై చేయండి మేడం. వీడియో స్క్రీన్ వస్తుంది.
వచ్చిందమ్మా, థ్యాంక్ యూ.
ఓకే మేడం, ఇట్ ఈస్ విజిబుల్.
yes ma'am
Thank
it
you.
is visible
We are able
Yes,
to see.
ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. See, I have prepared around 50 questions. A report is primarily, is it a story?
Formal
Is it a
written
person?
communication
no ma'am
Right,
formal
of
written
right. I have
communication of information
very good. I've given the options also. Formal written communication of information. Which type of report presents only facts without recommendations?
informational
Only facts,
ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్.
report
right?
informational
Information. It
report
is not analytical report,
informational report.
business report, in research report ఏంటి అంటే they all require findings, conclusions, recommendations. But just to provide information, what is there అనేది information report. So it doesn't include recommendations. Next, which report provides analysis and recommendations? Simple information report won't provide analysis. Memo, that is progress card, routine report, analytical report.
report
A memo report is an example of
informal report
formal or routine also. Sometimes ఒకవేళ ఇన్ఫార్మల్ ఇవ్వకపోతే take it as routine.
routine
Next, which report is prepared at regular intervals? Regular గా which type of report they are going to prepare?
routine report
Routine report.
ఏదైతే ప్రోగ్రెస్ రిపోర్ట్ ప్రోగ్రెస్ రిపోర్ట్స్ ఉంటాయి. ఫర్ ఎవ్రీ క్వార్టర్, ఫర్ ఎవ్రీ మంత్ ఎగ్జామ్స్ దే విల్ ప్రిపేర్. స్పెషల్ report is going to be prepared only under special cases. Investigation or research reports are prepared only whenever there is a requirement or need. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Next. Which report is written for educational purposes?
Academic
Business
report.
academic report.
Business.
The first page of report is called.
Title page.
మనం 10 చదివాం కదా, దాంట్లో ఫస్ట్ వన్ ఈస్ టైటిల్ పేజ్.
Title
విచ్
page.
సెక్షన్ హెల్ప్స్ రీడర్స్ టు లొకేట్ టాపిక్స్ ఈజీలీ? ఏ
Table
టాపిక్ ఎక్కడ
Table
ఉంది
of
అని
contents.
Table of
Table of
contents.
content.
టేబుల్ ఆఫ్ కంటెంట్స్. రైట్, వెరీ గుడ్. ద ఎగ్జిక్యూటివ్ సమ్మరీ is commonly included under business
Business
reports.
reports.
What is the name? Right. What is the name for the same report under academic reports? ఏమంటారు దాన్ని?
Abstract.
Very good. Abstract. Now the abstract summarizes what here? The whole research report.
Report.
The entire
Research.
research report.
Right. The miniature work of total research report is presented under abstract. Next, the introduction mainly explains what?
Background.
Background and
Objectives.
Objectives. History and objectives. References, findings, recommendations. They'll come at the end part of the report. Which section explains how data was collected? Which type of data collected?
Methodology.
Methodology.
Research method.
By using with
Right.
methodology.
Right, very good. Research method, primary data or secondary data, sampling techniques,
data.
clusters. Right. So that is discussed under methodology. The finding section presents
Facts and observations.
facts and, right, facts and observations. Which section explains meanings of findings?
Discussion and analysis.
Analysis.
Meaning, findings, meanings ఏ section లో వస్తుంది?
Discussion and analysis.
దాన్ని మనం
Right.
conclusion అనొచ్చు మనం. Conclusion.
Right.
Conclusion అనొచ్చు మనం.
రైట్. ఏ సెక్షన్ లో వస్తుందంటే ఇంటర్ప్రిటేషన్స్ అండ్ అనాలిసిస్ అండ్ ఇంటర్ప్రిటేషన్స్. ద కన్క్లూజన్ షుడ్ బి, కన్క్లూజన్ ఎలా ఉండాలి?
మొత్తం report summarize the report. Summarize the whole report. Summarization
రైట్.
of
ఇట్ షుడ్ గివ్ ద సమ్మరీ ఆఫ్ ద రిపోర్ట్. ఇట్ షుడ్ నాట్ గివ్ ఎ న్యూ ఇంట్రడక్షన్ ఆఫ్ ఐడియా కానీ, రెఫరెన్సెస్ అని కాదు, రా డేటా కాదు. ఇట్ షుడ్ గివ్ ద సమ్మరీ ఆఫ్ హోల్ రిపోర్ట్. Recommendations are based on. Recommendations ante what is the recommendation?
suggestions.
Suggestions. Right. Suggestions should be based on findings and
Findings and
conclusions.
conclusions.
It should not be based on personal bias paina undakudadu. Right? Assumptions paina undakudadu. Rumors paina. It should not depend. References. References are included. ఎక్కడ ఇంక్లూడ్ చేస్తారు? References అని ఏం చెప్పాను?
From where the data is extracted.
Right, right. What is the other name for reference?
Bibliography.
Very good. Bibliography, right. Right. The secondary source, list of secondary sources, we'll call it as references. Next. Appendices contains what?
Supportive material like newspaper, news, extra information about the report. Whatever we
Not
want
the
to add.
Not the extra information. The information which supports the main data are to be added. Like, మీరు questionnaire you have prepared, you got the answer that 50% said yes, 50% said no, right? What is your question? That you are not showing under the main context. But if someone asks to ask that where is the information from where you got this 75%, 50%, for that you have to add the questionnaire and responses. See, from a particular table, financial statements, you have taken the sales. You are not showing the total statement. You are simply showing the sales figure. From where you have collected? From the financial statement. So financial statement, you are adding as a supporting material in appendices. Sales, you are showing under main analysis part. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Which report helps managers to take decisions?
Business.
Business report.
Right. Business లో అనగానే మనకు మేనేజర్స్ అనగానే బిజినెస్ రిపోర్ట్. ఫైనాన్షియల్ రిపోర్ట్ ఈజ్ అన్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఆఫ్
It is also business report only, ma'am.
Business report.
రైట్ వెరీ గుడ్. Which is not a business report? Sales annual laboratory audit report.
Laboratory.
Laboratory report.
We can
Right.
simply understand by
Laboratory.
those terms.
Yeah.
Nothing, ma'am. We can simply understand by reading those, ma'am. By eliminating.
Yeah. Next, if I say if I add one more as your project dissertation, will it come under business report?
Ma'am, pardon. Please
No,
repeat
ma'am.
it.
No, ma'am.
Your degree dissertation project report you have submitted, no?
Yes,
Is it a
ma'am.
business report?
No,
No,
ma'am.
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
No.
It is related to academic or whatever the
Academic
problem
report.
is.
It is an academic report, right? The main purpose of business report is to take decisions by the
Decision making.
Yes, ma'am.
Decision making.
right, right. To solve the problems of business only, they are going to ask the preparation of business report. Next, academic report is mainly prepared by
Students.
right? Students and researchers, not the politician, not the tourist, not the journalist. A dissertation is a type of అంటే
Academic
మీరు
report.
ఇప్పుడు సబ్మిట్ చేశారు కదా, దీన్ని డిజర్టేషన్ అని కూడా అంటారు. దట్ ఈస్ పార్ట్ ఆఫ్ అకాడమిక్ రిపోర్ట్, రైట్? విచ్ సెక్షన్ ఫాలోస్ ద టైటిల్ పేజ్? అంటే టైటిల్ పేజ్ కాగానే నెక్స్ట్ ఏం చదవాలి?
Table of contents వస్తుందండి.
Right. First part is title page, second part is table of contents. Right. A good report should be
Objective.
biased, emotional fiction. Biased అని అంటే మన ఏమంటారు, మన పర్సనల్ biasness they are going to suppose ఇంపాక్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆన్లైన్ క్లాసెస్ బాగుంది అని మనం అనుకుంటాము, బట్ బయట వాళ్ళకి చూపించదలుచుకోలేదు కనుక ఐ సే ఇట్ ఈస్ no means it is I'm including my personal bias. It should not be emotional, it should not be fictional. Fictional means
Creative.
assumed one, right?
Yeah.
which which quality means presenting correct information. Correct
Which is not
Accuracy.
information. Yeah.
Accurate.
Clarity and
Accuracy, which
clear.
means correct.
Accurate means correct. Correct
correct.
means
Exact
accurate.
Exact
Right.
values.
Brevity means what?
Brevity.
Short or concise.
Okay, ma'am.
Clarity, right? Clarity means
Easy to
easy to
understand.
Easy to
understand.
understand.
You should not use difficult words, long paragraphs, decorative language, shortcuts, jargons. All these are right. See, I have given conciseness means being brief,
Brief.
precise. Conciseness, brevity, and conciseness are almost same. Completeness. Completeness means
Only
each
information should be
right.
included. Only the essential.
ఏది కూడా
all
right.
essential
The
information.
right, whatever is related to your objective of research. Which quality avoids personal opinions? Personal
Objectivity.
opinions avoid objectivity. Objectivity means whenever objectivity means you have to do the research. Please mute yourself. Someone is on unmute mode. Please mute. So, which quality avoids personal opinions means objectivity means every researcher will do the research based on the objects. If you are proceeding according to the objects, that is called objectivity. లేదు నా ఇష్టం ఉన్నట్టే చేస్తాను, I'll just forget whatever the objectives that are there for the research means that is inclusion of your biasness. But if you are avoiding your personal biasness means that is according to the objectivity. Proper report organization should be a logical one. It should not be random one. అంటే ఫస్ట్ మెథడాలజీ పెట్టేసి తర్వాత కంక్లూజన్స్ పెట్టేసి దెన్ యూ షుడ్ నాట్ గో విత్ ద టేబుల్ గ్రాఫ్స్ అండ్ చార్ట్స్. షుడ్ బి ఇన్ ఏ
Proper
sequential
order.
method, right? Which is a characteristic of a good report?
Simplicity. It should not be
Simplicity,
doubtful. It should
right?
not to be asked
Ambiguity means, right?
doubtful.
Ambiguity means doubt. Bias means your personal opinion. Exaggeration means,
Giving like unwanted information.
yeah,
Unnecessary information.
Unnecessary.
unnecessary information.
Useless.
Proper grammar helps to improve the
Readable.
simple
Readability.
readability, logical, and
It avoids
understanding for each and
confusion.
every. If you use the simple language, everyone will understand. If you use the technical language, it becomes difficult for a group of people.
Reader.
Which
Difficult to
report
understand.
contains literature review? Literature review అనేది దేంట్లో ఉంటుంది?
Academic.
Only in
Academic report.
Academic report.
academic report, not in
Academic
business report. Next, uh, which section appears near the end of a report? Last లో ఏదొస్తుంది మీకు? రిపోర్ట్
References.
ఎండింగ్ లో,
Appendices.
Reference.
Reference,
right?
ma'am.
Before and reference.
లాస్ట్ నుండి రావాలి అంటే ఇంకా ఏం చెప్పొచ్చు మీరు? అపెండిసెస్,
Conclusions.
Appendices.
అండ్ బిబియోగ్రఫీ, రైట్?
Yes.
లాస్ట్ లో అపెండిసిస్ వస్తుంది, దానికంటే ముందు
Reference.
బిబియోగ్రఫీ ఆర్ రెఫరెన్సెస్ వస్తుంది, రైట్?
References.
నేను ఇక్కడ మీకు అపెండిసెస్ అని ఇవ్వలేదు, ఒకవేళ ఇస్తే యూ హ్యావ్ టు సెలెక్ట్ అపెండిసెస్.
Appendix.
Which report is written to evaluate business performance?
Business
Business
report.
report.
Research reports mainly belong to
Academic.
Academic reports.
academic. Which report is usually written after a survey?
Survey
Survey
report.
చేసిన
Survey
తర్వాత
report.
రాసే సర్వే
Survey report.
రిపోర్ట్ అని అనాలి, because it is being conducted and it is mentioned. Tables and graphs are mainly included in
Analysis and
Analysis
findings.
and findings.
pie diagrams, line diagrams, bar diagrams, charts, tables. All these we are going to use under analysis and interpretation. Next, which report usually contains an executive summary?
Business report.
Business report.
Right? Which report normally contains an abstract? And then starting
Academic
Academic
report.
report.
Which section explains the purpose of a report? ఏ
Introduction.
సెక్షన్ లో ఇంట్రొడక్షన్ లో మనకి ఏమేమి ఉంటాయి? Just
Objective.
quickly recollect.
Background.
Background and objective.
Background,
Study.
object,
Purpose of report.
scopes,
Objective.
limitations,
Scope of report.
Very good. Very good.
Advantages.
Problem
Nature,
statement. Review
nature,
literature.
scope.
Methodology.
Very good.
Significance of study.
Very good. Very good. Which report is prepared only when needed? అవసరం ఉన్నప్పుడే
Special
ప్రిపేర్
report.
చేసేదాన్ని
Special
special
report.
report,
Special report.
right.
Progress report is routine
Right.
report.
Progress report is a routine report, right?
Routine report.
Which is not an essential quality of a report.
Personal
First.
Bias.
personal bias.
Personal bias is not included under. It should be eliminated actually, right?
Yes.
The language reports. A good report should consist of a formal and clear and simple and accurate language.
Which
It
can
should
be
not
easily
be poetic, emotional గా అలా ఉండకూడదు, right? Which report is most useful for research scholars?
academic.
అకాడమిక్ రిపోర్ట్. రీసెర్చ్ స్కాలర్స్ ఎవరైతే ఉంటారో థీసిస్ వర్క్ చేసే వాళ్ళకి అకాడమిక్ రిపోర్ట్స్ ఆర్ హెల్ప్ఫుల్. రికమెండేషన్స్ మీన్స్ సజెషన్ షుడ్ బి
Findings.
బేస్డ్ ఆన్
Based on findings, not on personal opinions. Based on findings, not on personal opinions or whatever.
వెరీ గుడ్, వెరీ గుడ్. ద మెయిన్ ఆబ్జెక్టివ్ ఆఫ్ రిపోర్ట్ రైటింగ్ ఈస్ ఫస్ట్
Is
చెప్పాను,
to
కమ్యూనికేషన్ ఆఫ్
information
and analysis.
Communication of
Right, right. Is it clear for everyone?
Yes, madam. Super clear.
Right, right. Thank you. And any more doubts?
No doubts.
No, ma'am.
So, no doubts?
No doubts.
No,
Thank you
ma'am.
so much, sir.
No,
Your
ma'am.
class
That
fabulous.
Thank you,
is
madam.
everything clear for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Right, right. Welcome. And shall I conclude, sir? Sir,
Thank you, ma'am.
I think no one. Thank you. Welcome, Mama.
Sorry, ma'am.
And I wish
Thank you
all
for
of
your
you all
lecture,
the
ma'am.
very best for upcoming CPGET examination.
Thank you
Hope
so
to
much,
see
sir.
you all
Thank you, ma'am.
in very good reputed universities and institutions. All the very best.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Thank
ma'am.
you, ma'am.
Once
Bye.
again, thank you,
Bye.
ma'am,
Take
so
care.
much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much,
Welcome.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Madam,
Sir, shall I close here?
okay, madam.
Okay.
Thank you, madam. Uh, Thank you for rendering service as a resource person on behalf of the lecturer and ADC. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank
Actually,
you.
నేను
Thank
ఇక్కడ
you. Thank you,
కాన్ఫరెన్స్ లో
everyone.
ఉన్నాను మేడం. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Ade, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
ఓకే ఓకే
I'm
మేడం.
ending, sir.
ఓకే మేడం ఎండ్ చేయండి.
Okay.
అసలు మీరు షేర్ చేసి పీపీటీ ఐ విల్ షేర్ టు ది స్టూడెంట్స్ గ్రూప్.
Okay, okay, sir. Chesta.